Good morning. There's a small issue in Regal that one of our generators seems to be misbehaving, and so I'm gonna see if I can fix it live. So the issue is we have a test here which for all kinds of random Regal patterns forms does this. It says give me some random values based on this Regal form and then see if they match the regex that comes out of this form. So in this case for the any, what does that mean? It means that we are going to use Regal gen sample any just to get random values, and then we are going to also turn any into a regular expression. And so the values that come out of this generator need to match this regex. And so it seems like in some cases we are generating a string containing a carriage return, and it should not do that because any matches everything but not new lines or carriage returns. So, but apparently it does. So if I make this number large enough to generate a large amount of samples, then eventually it seems like it does generate a carriage return. So that is unfortunate. So let's try to dig into that. Now, here's kind of the heart of the code that generates characters when you give it an any token. So we basically say generate random characters, but such that they are not any of these values. So we're taking a set here and then using complement to basically say if it's any of these, then return false. All right, so maybe to unpack that slightly, right? A set is like a function which returns either the element if it's in there or nil if it's not. And so if we treat that as a Boolean and invert the meaning, then this will return false for something like a new line or a carriage return, but it should return true for anything else. And so that's fine. And I get the impression that this part actually works fine. So if we say Regal gen any gen, and we use closure test check generators directly to sample a bunch of these. So now we just get a sequence of individual characters. Let's also just get a large amount of them and kind of do the same thing. In this case it's a character. And so that seems to be fine. It's not coming from there. So, but you see that here we actually get strings back. So there's slightly more going on when you call Regal gen sample. Right, that just calls test check generator sample on the created generator. So we can get that generator itself. Regal gen for any. So this is a test check generator's generator. And we can sample that. So this is the actual generator that's get created. And so this one exhibits the issue. So what else is going on here? So call this private generator function on R on the Regal form. And this is basically just a big switch, right? Where we say, okay, if it's a simple keyword, which is the case here, then it does this token gen. And there's nothing else really going on here. So I'm going to assume that if we pass any here, that this is really the same as just going directly to token gen, which then again is just kind of a big switch where any calls any gen, and then we're back here. So I'm gonna assume that token gen and generator here don't really add any logic that might cause issues. But then we fmap, we basically apply a function over the generated results, namely this grouped to string. And so I'm going to assume that this might actually be the place where something goes haywire. And I guess we can verify that by kind of doing the same here. Okay, yeah, let's first maybe, yeah, we call this, yeah, so I'm gonna start from this one. So here we are calling, splice that, we're calling anygen, we're getting, oh yeah, maybe it shouldn't, okay. So we get 100,000 values back from anygen, and then I'm just gonna map them. This one's private, so I'm just gonna refer the var to get around that. That's what that hash quote does. Resulgen grouped to string. Okay, and so boom, there you have it. So yeah, I'm not really sure yet why, but it seems like this grouped to string is giving us issues. And so now I am actually, I would like to know which input value is causing that output, because you would think it's \r, it's character return, but that can't be because we verified that this gen sample anygen does not generate character returns. So let's just call this S. Grouped string over the generate characters, and then we're going to, I love for forms for this kind of, you know, you can then say like when equals S \r, and then we want to know what the input character was. Oh my. Okay. Yes, I know exactly what's happening. Okay, so this is, yes, our anygen is in fact the problem. The problem is this, that these two are not the same. Because this is so yeah, this is return. So in strings, in Clojure you can use \r for a character return, but if you want a character return just as a character, then it's \return. And if you want a new line, then it's \new line. Okay, that was funny. So that means that we should actually be able to fix this fairly easily. Does make you wonder if there are other places where I've made the same mistake. This might be a little hard to Google or to grab for. No, these are all strings. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna commit that, and that should fix that. Here, let's reevaluate this namespace and do this again, and now R is nil. Excellent. Okay, that's it. Thanks a lot.